Council Monday, November 13, 2017. Chief, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Good night, everyone. Big guys.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Sarah. David.
Now, I had several announcements here, but I understand there's a large crowd of people. Is there a spokesperson? Yes, ma'am.
We're with the Apple Festival, and I'm Pat Patton, as you already know.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
There's been a lot of rumors going around about the festival this year, and I feel like rumors are just rumors, so we thought we would come and have a conversation. We would like to know what the problem is with us, and maybe we can fix the problem, or what really has been said that's true.
Okay. So what problems do you have?
We don't have any problems, but we've been told we have problems with this group and with you.
Who have you been told by?
Well, everybody that I need in Walmart or on the street, and that's not just me, but everybody. It's just been a rumor, so I
What
want
are the rumors is what I'm asking.
that you are anti-Kentucky Apple Festival.
That I am?
That you are, and as a group, not supported.
So this
So
group
I
isn't
hope that's
supported?
not true.
That's not true
That's
of me.
not
That's
true
not
at all. By me.
Amen.
not true of me at all, I promise you.
It's not true by any of us.
Well,
Now,
that's,
I've heard some rumors that I will address.
okay.
We as a council have never, ever discussed changing the vendor ordinance, nor will we ever discuss that.
Good.
We as a council are not anti-Apple Day, nor will we ever be. We as a council want to make sure that every non-profit makes every dime they can make.
That's all we ask.
We will not change any of that, ever, as long as I'm mayor, and I'll guarantee you, as long as these people sit around this table, that will never be changed. So put all those rumors aside. Now, there are a few things. On Monday morning, October the 2nd, the carnival started setting up, okay, blocking a roadway. I got an email at 10:42 on Monday morning from the Kentucky Transportation Department telling me that I had to have certain items in that Mr. Tosti knew about but never let me know in order for us to block a roadway. That is total lack of communication.
And it is. It is.
Okay? So, all we're asking is that he communicate with me a little bit better so that we can solve these type of problems. Also, we had a booth moved into downtown in front of the courthouse on a Tuesday morning. Okay? Blocking or taking up 5 or 6 parking places. Things like that cannot happen. It's my understanding that you all plainly state that no booths can be moved in until 5 or 6 o'clock Thursday afternoon.
That's on our.
Okay? Also, there were some tents set up on Court Street and 2nd Street on Tuesday and Wednesday. I guess your arts and crafts? I don't know, arts and crafts or whatever?
At one side.
Okay, so that presents a problem for school buses. We're going to have to fix that situation. Now, there was a lawyer in town that because these tents were set up when they were, he had a full, I don't want to call it a docket, but he had a full schedule on Thursday morning because he knew that he would probably have to close at noon on Thursday. With those tents set up, he had to cancel every one of those schedules. Those are the little problems that we want to address. It has nothing to do with your vendors.
It has nothing to do with Apple Day. I think
And it has nothing to do with Apple Day, period. So I don't know who started the rumors, but all of you were grossly misinformed. You were misinformed on what this council wanted to do as far as that ordinance was concerned.
Well, that's why we're here, and this is what we wanted to do, was talk. I hate rumors. And everything you said are just things that we need to sit down and work out.
I can promise you this, and this council will tell you the same thing. My door is always open. Anybody in this room is more than welcome to come in and sit down in my office and talk. And I can promise you, another rumor going around, I am not a bully. This guy grew up with me and he graduated with me, and he can tell you I never bullied anybody. I took care of bullies, but I never bullied anybody. So don't be afraid to come in there and sit down and
He's
talk
not
to me.
that mean. I think he's not.
Bill Mike, one of the
You can
reasons
talk.
I wanted to come was, and I hope I'm speaking on a lot of the people here,
Okay?
is that we appreciate the city of Paintsville allowing the Apple Festival to be downtown Paintsville.
Uh-huh. And we appreciate having you down there.
Absolutely, and I believe that there's definitely some common ground here for all of us.
Oh, yes, there is.
We want to see this county grow, the city grow and prosper and everything.
Actually, the common ground's already here.
Yeah, right.
It's just a bunch of rumors that somebody out there started somewhere
I agree.
because they plainly dislike me.
It gets bigger every time they tell me, it
Yes.
gets a little bit bigger.
Look here, if you dislike me, that's fine. I got no problem with that. I can handle it. I've been through 38 years of coaching basketball. I can sure appreciate you disliking me.
Sir, with
Well,
all
I've
due
passed you for
respect,
41 years now.
Pardon?
I've also heard the rumor, I'm Martina Lutz, I'm the band director with Johnson Central High School.
Uh-huh.
I've also heard rumors about bringing in a lot of alcohol vendors and
No
making it
truth,
less
no
family.
truth, no truth to it.
Okay.
I
And
can
I just
tell-
wanna make the statement
We-
that, for me, what we make at Apple Day, and if you ever come by our booth, you know that we have kids working and tons of kids.
Exactly.
And a lot of
With,
church
yeah,
people.
I would have to pull myself out if that were to come to.
Don't worry about it.
But Apple Day funds our marching band. We would not be able to afford to have competitive marching season without what we do at Apple Day. So if that were ever to go commercial, and just keep this in the back of your head, I know it's a vicious rumor now, but for those of you that might be future council members, or it will kill the school's sports teams.
No.
First of all, that's not up to us, that's up to the Apple Board, and we have no control over that.
Don't do it.
Is that right, Matt?
We voted, well,
I was
actually
on
the vendors,
council when you did
yes,
Mhm.
the vendors did that.
The
I mean,
last
we-
rule says no alcoholic beverages can be sold at any Apple Festival booth, or they will be closed.
We were here when that was done.
Yeah.
Okay,
We only have one.
let me make this statement to you. My mom and dad were Free Will Baptists. That's what I was raised. Am I against alcohol? No, I am not. That's a personal opinion of mine, okay? If I were to be against you churches that come in for Apple Day and make all that money, I can promise you this, Janet Runyon would come out of her grave and kick my butt.
Well, I think Mitchell and Eula would be spinning too.
Yeah, exactly. And I spent 38 years in the school business. Now, churches, civic organizations, school organizations, where does most of your money go? It goes to kids,
Kids.
correct? All right, Gary Crumb's church
Yes.
made a ton of money to pay on the principal of a little gymnasium that they had built. Now, if I'm wrong, correct me.
No,
Okay, he told me in 2 or 3 years, they may have that paid off. Now, do you think for 1 minute, after 38 years of coaching basketball, now just think of this, gymnasium and kids, that I'm gonna be against it? I don't think so.
well,
No alcohol. Good.
I'm satisfied. I just wanted to hear you say it. I've known you all your life, and you know,
Mr. Todd,
Since we're all here and everything, and if you'll please refresh my mind, excuse me, 2 or 3 of the things you just mentioned, I can explain them to you and the council. If you want to do that, which is fine with me.
please do.
Okay, also, I want to apologize to the city tonight, council, and you as mayor. The electrical entrances are finally being taken down. The reason they were getting so late being taken down this year, the company I used to work for, and Tim's still there, that's the reason your building tonight. They were working hurricanes in Florida, and Texas
See,
and
we
other
have no problem
states.
with that.
Well, I mean,
Well,
we normally have
That's
them way
just a
down
tribute.
before them, but the power company has employees out of states, out of our state, taking down and all, I mean, restoring power. Now, I've worked with Tim all these years and worked with the guys, and I said, well, I'm not gonna keep calling and say, hey, we need these cut loose, and get them on the street, but they're out here tonight. Now, the first thing you mentioned, I think was, okay, we yelled at Carnival. Now, I didn't know that they were setting up that early.
Why?
Well, I mean, they set that little triangular section of street there. But now, I will say this, and you've been here a lot longer than I have. When I came on this board, I worked with Tookie Hayes at the fire chief. I now have Rick Rattler, and we have Mike now, and I work with Ross Spears through the festival. And even this year and last year, since they've been in office, they have always known ahead of time what streets we were closing, this and that. Now, back to the state highway. Up until, I could be wrong on the day here, the year, but up until at least 2 years ago, I had to submit some forms to Department 12 in Pikeville to close certain streets.
Uh-huh.
And I submitted those forms. Well, then the gentleman that I used to work with, he retired, and it was turned over to another young lady, and I filled them out for her every year and sent them in on what streets we were closing. Again, the fire chief, police chief knew that. And also,
Our fire chief and police chief knew that
yes, sir.
on Monday morning?
I didn't know I don't know about Monday morning. But what
You
I'm
mean
saying,
previously they know?
yes, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
But how about this year? Did they know this year?
Well, I don't know if they did or not. I mean, I didn't know they were closing that early. If I'd have known it, I mean, I could have
It's not that the
contacted
streets were
Carnival.
closed, it's not that, it's they were setting up and it was making, you were pretty much at a one-way street.
See, right here's the problem we had, Mr. Toski. The coal trucks who were made not to go down by the school
With low.
have to take that route.
Okay.
Once they saw that exit closed off, they started taking Jefferson Avenue. Jefferson Avenue has got a 5-ton weight limit. That's the problem we run into. Thank God Chief Rowe got all that straightened out. Did you not call the company and explain to them the situation and all that? But that's what I'm talking about. If communication is gonna have to get better between my office and your board. Bottom line, it's got to be
Well, I
better.
agree. But back to what I was saying on the state highway, then first, the one gentleman retired, then a lady took over, and then she retired 2 years later. And then the last gentleman that took over from the lady, he said, you know, I filled the forms in, you don't have to fill these forms out anymore, Ray. We know where the festival is, we know what you're doing down there, there's no problem. And that was the last I heard of the state highway, till
Okay,
they called you.
that is an email from Jody Hunt on 10/2/17 at 3:36 p.m. in the afternoon. It wasn't 10:42 in the morning like I stated earlier. That's from
Somebody
me.
said they called them, you know that.
What I'm saying is, on behalf of the festival. I mean, I was told that by District 12, we didn't have to worry about it more. You don't have to fill out that big long 4 or 5 page application, permits and everything else, Ray. And I said, fine, thank you. And that was the end of it. Nobody told me that I had to do this or that or anything. That was the assumption I was operating under.
Well,
Those are just things that need to be straightened out.
Okay, now, what was the other thing about the booth downtown?
Yeah, there was a booth moved in on Tuesday morning.
All right, that was a red booth. And the reason that was done is because when you go putting up 300 foot of tents on 4th and 2nd Street, they have to be wired for electric. Then the vendors come in, and something that blew my mind this year, and I guess the board will be reminded of this. Now the state, they've got their hand out wanting money from anybody that sets up a tent, and it has to be inspected. Well, this year we had to pay $750 for an inspection fee, and the guy said, I can't be down there on Tuesday to inspect anything. He said, we'll waive it this year, because I gotta be someplace else in the state. I got so many other counties. And I said, well, okay. I said, well, we can live with that if you can. Well, I said, we're using a tent company on Nicholasville that we've used all these years. So that was waived, but that's the reason it's put up now. The booth down there, when we bring a booth down, that big booth cannot maneuver the streets of downtown. So the board now suggested to them, they pull it down there and pull it out of the way till Thursday evening, then they could put it right where it belongs.
Well, that's a good explanation.
Okay.
But let me tell you the situation I was put in. Chief Rowe was told that no booths were to come in
That's
before.
one of the rules.
Wait just a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
No booths were to come in before 5 o'clock on the Thursday afternoon. Okay?
That's one of the rules.
I had a good friend of mine from another church come into my office at 3 o'clock and wanted to know if they could just move their booth off the road, set it up on the sidewalk so they could be there at 5 o'clock, and they were told no. Correct, Chief? And then you've already got a booth sitting there, and everybody's come to City Hall, even though we have nothing to do with Apple Day. Our phones are ringing off the hook because of something that wasn't followed.
I agree.
I agree with you on that, but that's the only reason it was set down there. Plus, I went and talked to the lady at the flower shop, and she thought we did that to her last year. And I told her we weren't there to hurt her business or block her entrance. She said, that's fine, Ray. I appreciate you coming and talking to us 2 years in a row. Now, also, for your information and the council's, last year, I've chaired this festival, I think, 29 years. Last year was the first year we've ever had a complaint about school buses not being able to get down 2nd Street. And that was by the superintendent, Corey Stanton. All the other superintendents, we never had any problem, period, with it. For some reason, somebody rubbed him the wrong way last year. He's not here to defend himself, so I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you about that. But
Yeah, let's don't talk about people who can't defend.
well, I know he's not here, so defend himself.
That's one thing I don't like.
But, I mean, again, I think if people know the statistics or reasons why we have to set up so early and everything and do things like this, like that booth down there for, a day or maybe a day and a half early, and then setting the tents up. 'Cause we pay almost $15,000 for the tents.
That's gonna have to be ironed out. I mean, it's got to be fixed. I'm sorry, but it's got to be fixed. Now, all you vendors, you're more than welcome to make every dime you can make in the streets of the city of Paintsville. You set up and do whatever you need to do. Because I know who you take care of. That money stays in this county.
Yes, sir.
In this city. There's other people that come in for Apple Day that I do not appreciate. I'm going to be honest with you. That money, they come in here and grab it, and they leave town with it. I don't like it.
Well, that pays for the tents.
Okay, well, that's fine too, but you can understand why I don't like it. Let's take care of our people. That's the main thing.
Bill, along with the churches that been here, we spend a lot of money too in the area, making the products that we put out on the street. So I'm just appreciative of the honesty here tonight.
Well, I'm being honest with you, buddy.
I believe it.
I
Was
really
there,
am.
was there something
We'll
else?
take it.
Huh?
No, I
Something,
think
was
that,
that it? I mean, the
No,
three-
we're,
No, I mean, the
we're
three
good.
things, you know.
I really hated you all had to take up your time to come here, but I can promise you, there was never a discussion between me and him, me and her, me and her, me and him, or any group up here ever about changing a vendor ordinance or about letting commercial people come in here and take away money from nonprofits. I can promise you that. There was never a discussion.
well, that's all we can ask, and
Okay.
we appreciate your time. I thank you for your time, and before the next festival, we will have a roundtable discussion about problems. How's that?
Thank you. We sure appreciate that
That's what
as a
we want.
council. Yes, sir?
On that, you mentioned in the paper about communication.
Uh-huh.
You are an honorary member of our board.
I know that.
You may come to it.
Thank you.
You're an associate member.
An associate member.
Yes, you're on associate.
It is important, it's like giving the county judge and the school superintendent, and people like that.
And you can see some of the problems we have. We have many.
And by the way, on your 8 golf carts that you were supposed to get, and it was put on Facebook, you only got 7.
10.
The little boy that, or the guy you hired to clean the toilets, he come and got one for you all that morning, early that morning. Julio.
I don't know who that is.
So that's where your 8th golf cart went, by the way. And also, let me mention this, and you all can go. That ATM machine that's sitting in City Hall, that you want those doors left open for people to use that ATM machine, I can promise you this, I will never, ever leave City Hall open with 40 to 50,000 people in that town.
No.
There are too many important documents laying in that office for me to have people have a free run of City Hall. So if you all want council to get rid of me, get rid, I will not open City Hall up.
Is there not? It's not open up though. The doors are locked.
But there's a
It's
door
right
that
in-
goes
it's
on
in-
into City Hall.
The doors are locked right there. We discussed this.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, I will
Well,
not, I will not
I'm
open
just
it
trying to
up.
help people from leaving town. I am a business in the middle of town.
I wish we did.
And I run cards all the time for these people to keep them in the town. I've done it a lot.
Can we move it over to your, store?
I would love to move it to my store.
That would
Because
work.
I would like to see the money stay in the town as well.
That would work.
And another thing is, you were talking about the bridge being closed down, that we weren't allowed to close the bridges down, State Highway, the bridges and all that.
No, it wasn't the bridge now, honey, it was the exit.
But is the bridge over there a State Highway?
Which
The one that going across to the Stafford House, that bridge? Paint Creek Bridge? Is that a State Highway? Is that allowed to be closed down at any time?
College Street, yeah, it's a state highway.
If Joe Keaton was here, he could tell you if that was State Highway. I do know that Broadway is.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, if it's not supposed to be closed down, then it doesn't need to be, or the businesses downtown need to be notified. We were not notified during a recent event. And although I'm for this recent event, I still have to make a living.
Okay.
That's all I need to say.
We can iron all that out, but look here, just trust me on one thing. If you've got a problem and you want to talk to me, just come down to my office. Walk in the door, it's always open,
I want to say one thing.
okay?
You can't beat the police department.
Or
Perfect
the fire
gentlemen.
department.
Yeah.
And the
Yes, they
fire
work.
department, they work with me, and I consider myself a very old bag.
Now, you said that, I did.
I know, but they're perfect gentlemen. They handle sticky situations in
Yeah.
a very good way, and they're the best.
Absolutely.
And Mike was. And the same way with the fire department.
Yes.
We've got people to be proud of, and we need to tell them.
I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, so yes, sir.
Can I bring up one more thing? It's going to be a sticky situation.
Yeah, let's kind of make it quick, because we got business to attend
I
to.
think that everything that brought this on was probably about over the garbage cleanup in the city.
It was?
We need to discuss that just a little bit.
The city's supposed to be behind us.
It's just like I told you and Jimmy Wright.
Jimmy Wright.
right? That we would eat whatever we had to eat, and we did.
Okay, is the city council in charge of the tourism department?
No,
Do you govern the tourism department?
no. We do not.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes.
I appoint commissioners.
We have oversight over.
You
We
have
have
oversight.
oversight. Now, we don't govern.
They spend what they want, what they want.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes,
They've got their own bank account, their own.
but you all,
their separate
you guys have oversight, correct?
Oversight, yes.
Okay. This festival brings in more money than anything in the county.
Uh-huh.
Does that bring in tax money?
What?
Does it bring in tax money from restaurants, motels?
What are you talking about?
The festival,
Apple
the
Day.
festival brings in extra tax.
Does
Oh,
it?
sure it does.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then why do they not put us on as a line item as they as they did once before?
Well,
It's
I
a-
would say what you need to do is you need to get somebody that can communicate productively with tourism. I'm not telling you what to do, but you probably need to get somebody who can communicate with them as best they can, and they may put you back in the line item. Are you asking me if I will go to them and tell them to put you back in?
Not necessarily, no.
Because
That'd be a
I
good
won't do
idea.
Thanks for everything this evening and been so honest. Last month in the meeting, you said that you were going to review the ordinance and you asked for your, I think that was one of the things that with all of the vendors,
It got all
So-
out of place, didn't it? You know why it got out of place?
A vendor.
Because the only ordinance that she could put in the paper, and it's not her fault, was the one that she came to City Hall and got, and that was the vendor ordinance. That's the only ordinance she could find. Don't blame her, it's not her fault.
no, I'm not putting blame anywhere. I'm just
And
asking the
what
question.
happened, people read that in the paper, and they automatically thought that we're gonna change the vendor ordinance. They just assumed that's what we were gonna do, and that's what got this all blown out of the water.
Oh, no, I'm not assuming anything. I'm asking, what is your plan with that ordinance that you're reviewing?
We have, that vendor ordinance will stay just like it is.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You will have no commercial vendors come in here unless you want them. That's up to you all.
Thank you, sir.
We want all the money to stay with the nonprofits. Plain and simple. Anybody else? We got business to conduct.
Thank you for your.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now just a couple of other announcements before we get started here. I was gonna try to break the record last week. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. 26 minutes.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay. We need to agree as a council that since these girls have got so much to get out of these packets, we need to agree that if somebody wants to be put on the agenda, they need to do that before noon Thursday, previous to the Monday city council meeting.
I think it should be far back than that, but
I did too, but they said noon Thursday would be fine.
I don't think we need all this.
Is there any way we can receive this electronically? I know there's some apps out there will do it instead of,
We are wasting a whole lot of paper.
whole lot of
Well, I mean, we don't need a lot of this.
there is an app. I know
We
the
don't.
city of Pikeville uses an app. And I can get that information. But my boss is on the city council in Pikeville. And he gets everything right on an app, you know, and let's save some trees and some time.
and I'm always scared when
That's
the
just a
police
thought.
pull up in front of my house and drop off the package.
People talk about it.
Yeah, we worry so much.
You see those two ladies
This
back
has to
there?
be labor intensive.
It is, and there's a lot of information that's redundant on it.
Whatever those two ladies
You're
say,
right.
we can do.
Well, I make a
I mean, it's
motion
not
that
their
we
fault.
set Thursday by noon for any agenda items.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Also,
Perfect.
Mountains of Music Festival, bushels of arts, pints on paint. Went really well. Regardless of what social media tells you, it went really well. Okay, we had no trouble. Everybody was behaved well. They did well financially, which is what we actually wanted, and but I do have to mention the money. I did it for Apple Day, so I've got to do it if I can find it. Anyway, it came to the city was out $291.81
For what?
for overtime with police and overtime for street.
Are we talking about the beer thing?
Yeah, for the pints on, the pints on.
Pints on, I need to say that about the pints on paint, yes,
Okay, I just wanted to get that out there, but it went very well, and hopefully we'll make it better for next year. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
So moved.
second.
All in favor? Opposed? Can I have a motion to approve departmental reports?
I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Approval to pay the bills as presented.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? First item of business is advertise for bids on a surplus street sweeper. Miss Kim, did Jimmy bring you the VIN numbers?
No.
Okay, but he will?
Yes.
Okay. What we need to do is try to get rid of an old street sweeper.
This is a surplus one?
Yes.
And then we need a new one. Right.
Well,
What was the one we got?
it's old, but I think we've got it fixed enough where we can still get some more use out of it.
I think somebody made a comment to me the other day that they didn't think those did very well. Well, they do. I mean, they really do clean up stuff. When
they're working, right?
When they're working right, they do. They're good.
So, can I have a motion to advertise for bids? Surplus street sweeper.
I say.
All in favor? Opposed? Now, item number 2 is to open bids on asphalt down Main Street. Well, we did that last meeting. But come to find out that the person that lays that blacktop, because we got it from the governor's discretionary fund and didn't get it from road aid, that the person that lays that blacktop has to be state certified.
Well, now, wait, what did they, we talked about this, and I needed to ask you, and I forgot.
And I hope I can explain.
I mean, I do too. I mean, it's fine with me, but, have to be certified by the state.
State certified.
I was told that Arnell and Hinkle are state certified. Hinkle right now is working on construction on the new parkway over there. So I don't know what they mean. What I'm saying is, state certified how? You know, it must be something.
I think this group from Hinkle is a branch off of the other Hinkle. And evidently, when you branch off,
You still have to.
that branch has to be state certified also.
Well, they said Arnell was state certified and Hinkle was state certified, but I couldn't tell them any specific
Yeah.
thing about it, so I didn't know. I didn't know
So-
what to say about it.
We didn't, the only one that we know of state certified in this area is Mountain Enterprise. And they did not bid on it.
R&L paving isn't state certified?
See, that's, I was told they were.
I'm pretty sure I.
We can check into that.
I didn't know what to tell them, so I didn't say.
The thing I don't like about it is somebody trying to cut the little man out. But, you know, there's nothing I can do about it till I can find out for sure, and Jeff's not here.
Well, I would have talked to you about, but I got that call about 4 o'clock today.
I'll get in touch with Jeff and we'll see if we can't find something out. So we're gonna table that.
We're gonna have to.
Give me a motion to table number 2.
I make that motion that we table.
All in favor? Opposed? Kim, what is the resolution to, approval for resolution concerning cafeteria plan?
Yes, that's on pre-tax.
It's on what, honey?
Pre-tax,
So they
it's on
can
your gross
contribute
income before
pre-tax.
tax.
Before the taxes are taken out of their check, they can contribute to either retirement or health.
So this is just, do you need a motion on this?
Yeah.
Just need a motion that they can still continue that?
I know what to do is this. I'll make that motion.
Oh, it's just taking it out pretty
I'll
fast.
second it.
We
Second.
don't get that.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Number 4, resolution to execute a change order for the I&I project. Now, this is the one that we tabled the last time.
Okay. I understand that they approved to let it go, the change orders, not necessarily go through, but is Bob here?
Yes.
Bob, what did they approve at the last meeting? I can't tell by reading that stuff exactly.
Well, the original request from the commission was that I be authorized to sign after they approve. Now, there's an amended resolution in front of you that will also put a mayor's approval in there as well,
On how much?
or just on the change order.
It doesn't state how much.
May I say something?
That you did his approval.
You know, that's what Mr. Pack's job is.
Right.
That's what he's hired for.
I
And in
agree.
my opinion, you know, he needs to be able, he's gonna be there every day, hopefully watching. And I think he needs, you know, that's his job and that's what he's hired for. Now, if he falls short of those expectations, then he needs to be held accountable. But I think, you know, I think he ought to be allowed to sign them and then report to the mayor. That's exactly what I
Isn't that
think.
basically what you're doing?
It is, and my concern, even with the mayor's approval, the approval's not as big a problem. I don't want him to have to come and sit through those progress meetings. We had one last week, 2 hours long. I don't want to tie up his time.
And
I think
just
you
bring
could
in-
summarize it, couldn't you? I mean, I'm like Tim, I have full confidence in your ability to approve it, but also based on some prior situations, you know, the city
That's
having a
the
little
concern.
bit of some kind of, check and balance, you know? I mean, I think it kind of makes a
That's
little
what the
sense.
resolution is.
Yeah.
And most change orders wouldn't necessarily be a change in cost, it's just maybe a matter.
Yeah, in those kind of scenarios, I think what, or at least, I mean, put some words in your mouth here, is that whenever the cost or the amount is over a certain
Way up there.
threshold, then, you know, hey, let's at least get another check and balance, so that we're good stewards of the money that the city has.
Right here's what the last paragraph reads. It says, further, Robert Pack is authorized, subject to the approval of the Paintsville Utilities Commission and the mayor of the city of Paintsville, to execute for and on behalf of the mayor and/or the city of Paintsville, Kentucky, any and all change orders necessary for the administration, construction, or completion of the downtown I&I sewer project. That was the last paragraph that was added.
I'll make a motion, we accept that resolution.
Well, do we want to set a dollar amount? And like I say, I don't think the mayor needs to set in.
Well, let me, you brought it up, and I just want to say this.
Sure.
I'm personal friends with Bob Pack too, and have been all my life, I guess all my years of my life, and I'm not going to tell you, but that is what you know. And it is nothing about Bob, or it's nothing, it's just like Sean said about the checks and balances, it's nothing about anybody on the utility company. I just know that those situations can get out of hand. And I do know that that's a lot of money. And I know this project has the potential for being a lot of money. That's the burdens, you know, eventually. We're the one that approves them to borrow that money. And if it's done with mayor's approval, I can go along with that.
That's what I-
As long as the mayor, it's at least put by him, even if you think it's gonna be cumbersome, let him make the decision if he thinks he should go there for it, and
Go
I
to the
think that's
meeting, or
what
you
you're
can just
saying.
summarize it and
That's
say,
an
here's
entirely different program than having to come to council meeting.
Well, I just don't want the project held up for
Exactly.
any
Well,
period
I
of
don't
time.
want it. I
well,
don't
that
think
costs
it's-
money
I
too.
mean, yes, it costs money, and the last time I thought it was said they would have to we talked about bringing all the charges back to the council
I
to
was
approve.
just asking anything
And
over $10,000.
I thought long and hard about it, and I just thought, well, my goodness, you know, we've got a superintendent of utilities here, and I trust.
And
that-
I do trust
I'm not
him,
even
and he knows
just
that.
Not the name, I just trust that people need to do what they're being hired to do and be held accountable. you know, and to hold a project up, to wait the next council meeting to get approval. I'm not so sure we
Well, I
want to
don't
do that,
think
because
we-
that does
we-
cost
I
money,
don't- we-
Sean.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
I
we
mean, it
did
does.
say that.
Especially this project, we're really short on time to get this one.
But I didn't wanna hold it up, and I don't
Oh,
think
I
that
know.
would hold it
I
up.
made a
either.
motion, I second your motion.
All in favor? Opposed?
The good point she made last time was that if you wait until afterwards to do this, nobody's
Excuse me.
gone.
Excuse me.
I apologize.
Okay. Item number 5. Mr. Johnson.
Sir.
He would like to appoint Shay Likens to the Paintsville Tourism Board. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that, yes, sir?
Shay Likens, Josh Johnson, your tourism director.
Wants to the tourism board?
Yes, to the tourism board.
Can you give us a little background? It seems like none of us know who
That's fine
Shay
with
is.
me, John.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's worked at Poppy Hall for 20-plus years. She's over she's the medical staff coordinator, she's an assistant to the CEO, she's jack of many trades.
Fine.
I make a motion
Give me a second.
for Shay.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Number 6, he wants to also reappoint Andrea Dixon to the Paintsville Tourism Board.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
All in favor? Opposed? Now, we need to appoint, and God rest Jim Meek's soul, by the way. I hate that worse than anything. We need to appoint a city council member for Mr. Meek.
Well, I make a motion to appoint Roger Belcher to fill that position.
I second it. Since he talked to me.
I'll make a motion to nominate Jim Pelfrey.
You made a motion.
I made the motion, Tim seconded.
And Miss Sarah made a motion for Jim Pelfrey. And there is no second for Mr. Pelfrey. So we need a vote on Mr. Roger Belcher. Roll call.
Tim. Sean.
Yes.
Patricia.
Yes.
Sarah.
No?
David.
Yes.
Passes 4-1. Okay, I'll open it up to council at this time. Open the floor to council at this time.
I have 2 things I would like to bring out. First, I want to ask about the Chase Branch development, where we stand on, I know the lines has been run on the development of the property in Bocook and design. How do we stand on that?
We have met with Mr. Holland, myself, Gary McClure, and Scott Hale, and we have talked about 2 pieces of property. One for the all-purpose building that we would like to try and get built, and the other one is for a recreational, state-of-the-art recreational complex. At this time, they are in they're in conversations with an engineering firm to get some plans drawn up, because I shouldn't have mentioned Mr. Holland's name because he did not want his name mentioned. So you already did that, okay?
Strike that from the record.
Strike that from the record. He doesn't want any publicity whatsoever. So hopefully, we can get our building started and our recreational complex started as soon as we get some details worked out. That's where we stand on that.
How big a piece of property is that, Mayor?
Oh, my goodness.
No, I meant for the recreation. That will be received.
We talked some acreage,
Yeah,
and it will be plenty.
okay.
We own some
Yeah.
property already out there.
Yes,
don't
we own one small little piece right now.
For the parking lot or something like that.
I'm not to forget.
My
Okay.
second question I had,
All right.
I know we have a lot of committees here, people want to try to do more for our community. And I was saying, is it possible that Main Street can be incorporated and absorbed by tourism?
Is it possible that Main Street can be absorbed?
By tourism, tourism take
By
over Main
tourism.
Street.
Well,
I guess it's possible.
That would give them more, if Main Street was taken, that gives them more resources to promote the area. And that would help on the funding, and it brings more opportunity, because a lot of the events that you can have downtown is tourist related.
Well, it's open for discussion, council, if you all got anything you can.
Well, I guess I would
Josh?
wonder, I mean, you know, because tourism is kind of a separate entity, you know, and their focus is on tourism for the whole county. If they absorbed Main Street, then would that not shift the focus from, you know, securing events for Main Street versus for the whole county? I mean, would they look at it differently than what the Main Street would?
Well, Paintsville tourism is Paintsville, Johnson County tourism,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
both.
That's what I'm saying. I
And
mean,
tourism.
their focus, but Main Street's focus is on just the downtown area. And what you're suggesting is let another entity that we don't have any control, not that we have control over Main Street necessarily, but that has other, you know, concerns. Have,
I guess we would need to talk to tourism about it and how they feel about it.
Well, tourism gives money to Main Street.
mm-hmm.
Right.
Main Street has a budget, but then tourism also pays additional fees on top.
On top of that.
Do you have any idea about how much money tourism gives to Main Street? Would you have any idea?
Josh?
Well, I can tell you that in 22 years since tourism's been donated to Main Street, that tourism's donated a little over $105,000. Within the last 2 years, though, it's been $54,000, which is roughly almost half of that income over a 22-year period.
How do you?
Which also includes, are you saying that that's the amount you gave to just Main Street? Or
Yes,
the
just
amount
the
you
Main
gave
Street.
for like?
Paintsville, Main Street.
Just
Okay.
in Main Street. How do you feel about it, Josh? You're the tourism director.
Just like Patricia said, you know, I'm all about, I want people in Paintsville, I want the heads and beds, you know, and we've really been trying to do something more with the SIP. I know the SIP seems just long, and it's so beautiful now.
Yes,
If you've not had the chance, you really should go look at it. But I want to see more stuff downtown. Just like the rest of us, you know, like the beer festival, Pints on Paint, sorry. All that stuff. I want to see us start utilizing the Stafford House more. These businesses deserve the recognition. You know, if it's the end, if it's the middle or the end of the month, it's like a ghost town.
Right.
Now, if it's the first of the month when it's check day, town's a little bit busy. But I want to see us have people all the time, because if we don't have people coming to town, we don't have a town.
Right.
I want to see us bring stuff downtown and have Paintsville in one of the greatest cities in Kentucky. That's what I
Amen to
want.
that, brother. Yeah.
You know, I think the issue is the two entities are not working together.
Right.
I mean, that there's issues there, and
So-
they need to be addressed. And in my opinion, if it means, you know, rolling everything into
Tourism.
tourism,
So
to
be
get
it.
done what our city needs done. I mean, that's what needs to be done. I mean, everybody in here realizes there's been issues. And there's been, you know, button heads, and that's not what we need. We need everybody working, just like this council, we need everybody working together for the betterment of our city. That's what it is. And you can't have two, in my opinion, you can't have two organizations like that not communicating and not working for the common good of our city. Or it ain't gonna work.
I'm
It
not
will
against it.
fail.
I'm not against it at all.
I mean, it will fail. That's my opinion, you know.
I don't know, I guess I lean more towards, I'm looking at information here, but I don't disagree with anything you said, but I lean more towards, you know, maybe since I'm just
Fixing the
new,
problem
you know,
instead
well,
of resolving.
you know, give me, I'd like some time to think about it, you know, and to look into it.
I think that's what we need.
Yeah, I mean-
You know, I don't think we need to make a decision on that
No,
tonight.
not tonight, but I mean to look Because
I think it's
Yes.
a good point to bring up.
It was a good point to bring up, and we just need to think about it as a council.
Yeah, it's just, get everybody leaning in the same direction, whatever it is.
So I make a motion to table it?
Well, it wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah, okay.
It was just something brought up for discussion, so we'll just leave it at that. It was just something brought up for discussion. Anything else from council?
Yeah, I just want to say another thing, I have nothing against the new, person put on council. I like Bo, I've known him all my life too. It's just that I feel like I need to support the person that I recommended, and I still say that I wish everything would go through you. Or I hope they I hope that they work well with you with the utilities and let you know about change orders. I know they built a new courthouse down in Louise and they only have 5 change orders in 18 months, but I know that that's probably not gonna happen with this, and I know this is a major project that can turn into
So many
something
unknowns
really
down
big.
on that ground.
I mean, well, I wish we could hire like bloodhounds or somebody to come in and do it, and hopefully they will. But you know what I'm saying, I know that it's gonna be
Wiggle that
major.
magic wand and then all of a sudden it's done. Unfortunately, life's not that easy.
And I
Wait
don't,
just a minute, Mr. Pack.
I want to respond to that.
but that was the only, that, I don't even know what they voted on, but mine was to run things by the mayor, and I'm sure you all will run most of them through him, and you still keep us apprised of it in our monthly reports, and that's all I'm asking. Like everybody said, the concern is the city, there's less money every place, and less jobs and everything else, and it's just a big expense that I think we need to keep our eyes on.
I agree totally. Anything else from council before I open it up to the floor? Anything from the floor? Yes, Mr. Pack.
I wanted to respond to your comment about the bloodhound and about what's underground. The contractor's bringing another crew in tomorrow and bringing a camera truck in, and they will be doing some exploration, trying to find what's underground the best they can. I expect our crew will be working with them to help smoke and maybe do some additional camera work.
I have a nephew who is out of Indianapolis that happens to work for them, and that's why I happen to know a whole lot about the bloodhound thing. And I know what a nightmare it can be, because they've encountered it in several places. So I only mentioned that because I know about that, but otherwise I wouldn't have known about that. Just so happened I did. The Carter Lane project, did we mention that?
No, we haven't. Miss Kim, do you know anything more on the Carter Lane project?
I spoke to Libby about 4:30, and she's not heard anything yet from Amanda. So we don't know anything else yet.
So we're still in limbo on it?
Yes. But just as soon as we hear something, I'll be glad to let everyone know.
Well, I did take Coach Ronnie Wells up there the other day and showed him that property, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's just,
And
it's a shame.
It's a shame how long it's taken too.
That those people have to go through what they have to go through. And knowing that property's in the shape it's in, it's a shame that the government has to work that slow, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Is there any way to get more lighting to Broadway and Euclid Avenue? 'Cause it is very dark. You cannot see anybody crossing the street, walking. I mean, it's dark. It is very dark.
It used to be.
That's a state road, but the way I'm understanding.
Have you noticed how dark Euclid is? I mean, it's
I
bad.
just learned that today.
Well, you put this like too.
Mr. Hawker, we have somebody take a look at
It needs
that.
LED.
Yeah.
Our ability to serve is only considered your ability to pay.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
No, anything can be done. I mean, it's, the best people to look at the dark spots are Chief Rose, police officers at night, make notes of where lights are, could be some lights out.
Or not.
And if they don't get reported,
you don't
then,
know about it.
unless our serviceman's out at night working, notice them. You know, I report when I see them, when I'm out early, but due to my knees, I quit jogging in the morning, so I'm missing a lot of them
Well, you
now.
remember in front of the bowling alley when it was there?
Yeah.
It was dangerous then.
It was.
Even then to go across the street.
So if you got any ideas, suggestions,
Grown up.
some of those posts have poll numbers on them, write them on and write them down on a piece of paper, give them. I know Kim or one of them can send a letter and Yeah, we can hang lights everywhere.
I don't know
Yeah,
where you put one.
but with that said, as he said, you know, we pay, you know,
Yeah.
electricity for all those lights.
Yeah.
You know, they don't come free of charge.
That's
Well,
right.
I understand
Well, and you
that.
know, it may be as simple as changing some lights to a little bit bigger light,
Yes.
which the costs are not as much as adding another light. And I can
Well,
look at
I
some of
understand that someone with AEP, told the mayor this past December, and they checked a lot of them and found out that we were paying for some lots that
They
aren't
did a
even there
street-
anymore, and I
Yeah.
think that person was you.
They did a
And
street
so
light.
I know that the mayor said that that was good to
Those-
find out about a lot of things.
That account
That
was
was-
adjusted.
That was Mr. Hall.
It was adjusted, and I do know the lady that does that, so.
So I think maybe we could afford to get, and I
You
know there's some
like I
dark
said, it may
places.
be, a lot of them are 100-watt lights. It may be economical to put in a 200-watt light. You know, you're getting twice the lumens, you know, and if we can identify those dark spots. That's the first thing you need to know. Where's it dark?
All the way
So
down.
But I mean-
just so the citizens know,
Yeah.
we pay about $12,000 a month to AEP, and bulk of that is streetlights.
I just wanted to say that right now I'm working with the lady from AEP right now. I'm working with her to take care of the issues. I'm working with the lady right now.
Your Bevins?
You got one back.
All right, we got one.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
You all talking about lights. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with the city, but I guess it would be a state problem, but probably the city could notify the state in some way. There needs to be a light put at the start of the road leading up to the post office. It is pitch black there, and after dark, it is pitch black, and it is so dangerous there. And, I mean, that's just,
Right there as you start at the post office right there.
it is, there is no lights there, there's
Well,
nothing
actually,
but black.
federal. That's federal.
Federal property.
Yeah.
That'd be federal, well, I didn't know if it was state, federal, or what.
You know, even the big light over there at the jail and, you know, that one's, about half of those lights are out. It used to be real bright there and it's not
Oh, yeah,
anymore.
it did.
But that's a state light. They own that.
Well, leading up to the post office is dark as well.
I don't know how we can address that other than,
A lot of it could be fixed. just
I'll
by
check
phone.
into it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll check into that.
yeah,
I
and
took
it's
the
all
Kennedy
up
Street
through there as well.
Could I have
I
a
make a
motion?
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a question if you
Oh,
don't mind.
sorry.
Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry. When are you gonna make a decision on replacing the Paintsville Housing Authority board member?
Whenever he brings me a name,
Okay, my understanding was that you did.
he did, and that was tabled. So he's gonna have to resubmit a name.
Okay, because I'm that person that he
Yeah,
submitted.
yeah, I know. Yeah, Mr. Spradlin's gonna have to resubmit a name to me,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
Motion to
We
adjourn?
have a motion and a second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion, or meeting adjourned.